Hey, what's going on, Miami Dolphins fans? Welcome back to the Fins Up Network. It's Ben Morgan, and it's the 12th day of on-field action of training camp for your Miami Dolphins, the second day of joint practices with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, leading to Saturday's preseason opener. Before we jump into today's recap and highlights, let's do a little bit of availability report because some big news from the Bucs. No Tom Brady, no Julio Jones. On the Dolphin side of things, Teddy Bridgewater was not available for the 11-on-11 portion of today's practice. However, Terron Armstead was on the field with the ones for the majority of the 11-on-11 action. Would be pretty surprised to see him in any action on Saturday. However, also looking ahead to Saturday, sounds like Mike McDaniel is currently leaning towards leaving Tua out of that game. But let's look at some of that 11-on-11 action from today's practice because the play of the day for the Miami Dolphins was a Tyreek Hill one-handed catch over the middle of the field for a touchdown. We've got video of it here we are going to bring up. And as you can see, literally in between three defenders, Tyreek goes ahead, snags it with one hand, brings it in, houses it from there. I'll show it to you guys again real quick because what I love about this play is that that's straight confidence, and it's showing the chemistry that these two already have with each other. To be able to throw a ball with confidence in between three defenders like that, knowing that your guy is going to be there and knowing the timing of that, that's something that doesn't just happen overnight. So the chemistry that these two have already shown, already proved, being put to the test today. You test stuff like that in practices, and the fact that they're hitting on stuff like that, all signs are pointing up on that one. Another touchdown to Tyreek in 11-on-11 work was a quick screen to Tyreek. I got video of that one as well. Video's not quite as good. It doesn't quite stay with Tyreek the whole time. I'll show it again here in a second, but you get the gist of the play. It's what we talk about all the time. It's get the ball to your playmakers, let them create in space. You get a good block from Cedrick Wilson there, putting his guy on the ground, and then it's the human joystick just going to work. Just letting Tyreek be Tyreek with the ball in his hand. So another great day from Tua and Tyreek there as well. A couple more notes on Tua. Had a would-be corner end zone touchdown to Mike Gesicki that ended up being called back because of a flag. More on Mike Gesicki, though, here. Later dropped a touchdown on a ball that hit him right in the hands. Kind of redeemed himself later by grabbing a touchdown from Tua in red zone work later. But a bit of an up and down day in general for Gesicki. And Mike McDaniel actually talked before practice about tight end usage because they're asking him about this because we have Mike Gesicki, a really good pass catching tight end, and that usage has been sporadic at best. And Mike McDaniel said, well, that usage and the way I'm going to run this offense is going to be based on scheme. It's going to be based on opponent. And he made the reference to George Kittle, how Kittle would put together these 3 or 4 game stretches where looked like he was going to produce like single season record breaking tight end numbers. Whereas then the next like 3 or 4 games, his targets would be limited and therefore his production would be limited. But it's all based on scheme and opponent rather than what they actually have with the player. But regardless, something to pay attention to there with a little bit of an up and down day from Mike Gesicki. A few more Tua notes here as we move forward. Hit River Cracraft with a red zone touchdown. Also hit Jaylen Waddle with a red zone touchdown. I got video of that. I really like this throw here. The cornerbacks is going to blitz off of Waddle. And then Tua is going to throw it basically right as Waddle crosses in front of that other safety. And then before the next safety can come in to make a play on the ball. You'll see it here again. Crosses that safety. Ball is out right before the other safety can get there. Touchdown, Jaylen Waddle. But like I said, Teddy Bridgewater not participating in the 11-on-11s today meant more reps for Skylar Thompson, and he took advantage of the reps that he was given. Hit Tanner Conner on a 40-yard touchdown along the sideline. Tanner Conner obviously showing a little bit more and more as to why Adam Shaheen was expendable, being traded earlier in the week to the Houston Texans. Skylar Thompson also hit Trent Sherfield on a 10-yard touchdown and hit both Erik Ezukanma and Chase Edmonds 4 touchdowns in red zone work as well. But just like yesterday in the first joint practice with the Buccaneers, they ended the practice with the 2-minute drill. So in today's 2-minute drill, it was Tua to Waddle for 12, Tua to River Cracraft for 5, a false start, Tua to Cedrick Wilson for 20. I've got video of that here I'm going to show you in a second. However, 2 straight sacks to end the period. And now go back to yesterday where they weren't able to get the field goal unit onto the team onto the field in time to get the kick attempted. Well, similar today, for how many positives there were about this offense and all the performance that they had today, when it mattered here in this 2-minute drill, once again came up a little bit short with the offensive line, caving in against that Bucs defensive line, ending it with 2 straight sacks. So not exactly how you would want to end that drill. However, more than not, Dolphins offense looking good today. And like I said, I got that video from Cedrick Wilson here because I would say that I love that Tyreek play. I mean, a one-handed catch over the middle to Tyreek Hill. It's tough to beat that. But I'm going to show you why I really like this ball here to Cedrick Wilson. 1, Tua evades the pressure, steps up, and it's all timing. It's all timing. He is knowing where his receivers are going to be and putting the ball on a dot on the spot. And now watch that safety this next time I show that, because the safety that's my ball. I'm about to catch that. Right now, it's coming to me, not knowing that Cedrick Wilson is going to come right into that spot and snag it right before he does. Safety's all ready for it, and never mind. Cedrick Wilson stepped in the way and scooped it for 20. So nice, couple of nice plays there. But moving on to some notes from some one-on-ones. Jaylen Waddle, uncoverable in one-on-ones. And I don't want to put too much stock into one-on-ones. It's a big field, and we're talking about guys like Jaylen Waddle. Wide receivers always have the advantage in these types of drills. But I do have video with him on Carlton Davis. And I want to show this for a reason, though. Like I said, offense always has the advantage when it comes to these drills. But Carlton Davis is their top corner. And look at the amount of separation Jaylen's going to get here. Right there. At the point of catch, that's like 3 to 5 yards of separation. And I keep seeing these videos of Devontae Parker in Patriots camp. And we always talked about how he always had the worst separation between him and his defender in the NFL, basically his entire time here. Well, that's not what we're seeing right now. We're seeing that much separation. And this is what's going to be able to let Tua kind of really go to that next level. Being able to be in this timing offense and knowing where your guy is going to be with that amount of separation, going to work wonders. Some more one-on-one notes here. Solomon Kindley with some less than rave reviews during his one-on-one drills against the Bucs defensive line. But on a positive note, Robert Hunt with some quality reps. And this is a pretty good Tampa Bay front four as well. Their entire front seven, their linebackers are nasty. But so not so great for Solomon Kindley. Thumbs up there for Robert Hunt. But man, it happened again today. Snapping issues. They reared their ugly head, came back to life on Thursday. A high snap for Connor Williams, literally on the first play of team drills. Later had a under the center snap exchange with that went wrong with Tua Tagovailoa, and a couple more questionable snaps mixed in throughout. And I've beat this to death, but at some point we got to figure this out. Mike McDaniel talked about it and said, like, with what we see athletic profile wise, we want Connor Williams to be able to play center. But man, if you can't snap the ball, you can't really play center, especially in an offense that's going to be based on this timing and being as precise as it needs to be. So, man, it's something that we're going to continue to monitor until we get either a new player brought in, maybe a JC Treader, or until they completely commit and say, you know what, this is the way we're going. This is the direction that we're heading, and we'll see it from there. But definitely something we got to continue to keep our eye on. As we wrap up here, some miscellaneous player notes. Xavien Howard had an interception in red zone 7-on-7 works. The Dolphins defense did allow back-to-back touchdowns to Blaine Gabbert in 7-on-7s. Keon Crossan, though, 2 straight solid days in a row here, credited with 3 more pass breakups. Off to the offensive line, Robert Jones getting some love for his work in both one-on-one drills and team drills. Springing a nice run with one of his blocks for Salvon Ahmed in one of the instances. And Xavien Howard, I talked about how I don't give him enough love because we don't hear his name called all that much, getting credited with a pass breakup in the end zone to prevent a touchdown. And the fullback, we got to give some love to the fullback. Alec Ingold, still in the red no contact jersey, mind you, but still hauled in a catch on a ball where Tua had to like lower the arm angle and then get it to him. So a nice productive play there. Um, Travis Wingfield of the Miami Dolphins noted that there was not much in regards to space for the Dolphins run game in general. And a couple of things in mind here. Obviously, the Dolphins offensive line isn't to the level of where the Buccaneers defensive line is, but some good news. The Buccaneers offense, rushing offense in particular, struggled early against the Dolphins defense as well. I know there were some runs later in the practice that didn't go the Dolphins' way quite as much. There was a 30-yard touchdown given up to Gio Bernard that we probably could have went without. But regardless, some positives and minuses there along the way. But Trill Williams, some nice plays again today, had an interception in the end zone. And then he also had this rep, this one-on-one rep that I want to show you. Because he gets beat a little bit here, but he times this perfectly. And I'll show it to you again, what I mean by that. Because he waits for that wide receiver to move his hands. And as soon as he does, as soon as that wide receiver puts his hands up, Williams whips his head around and gets that hand in there for the pass breakup. So for the little that we've seen from Noah Igbenogany, we've seen the kind of the exact opposite from Trill Williams. So continuing to see great things from Trill Williams is a nice sign. And one more note from Travis Wingfield as well. Pointed out that some of that head and eye manipulation that we saw from Tua back in his Bama days has been back recently. And I wanted to make a note of that because coming into the draft, I always thought that was Tua's biggest strength. Obviously, his accuracy is probably the biggest strength. But I thought what helped him, what made that even more potent, was his ability to get the snap and be completely looking one way. And then next thing you know, he looks the other way, sees exactly what he needs, and he's making the toss the other way. So that head, that eye manipulation that he was so good at Bama, getting more comfortable here at the next level and showing it in practice as well. Just wanted to make note that some of the highlights from today's video were from a few guys on Twitter, including Dr. Draft, Cam Wolf of the NFL Network, and Nikki Smokes. So make sure you give them a follow as well. But that's what we got for today, Dolphins fans. We're on to Saturday's preseason debut against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So like I said, that's what I've got for today. But we'll return. And until then, Dolphins fans, fins up.